Hi friends, this is Ravi Reddy, and after a whole lot of requests on my Facebook page for some inputs and tips on my fasting methods, I thought I'll make a small video on my experiments with intermittent fasting. I hope you'll enjoy it, and if it helps you, you can just contact me back. Send your feedback to fasting@ravireddy.com. Before I start sharing my own experiences and my own advice on intermittent fasting, I would like to refer you to some wonderful internet sources. Particularly, my major inspiration has been Dr. Jason Fung, a Canadian nephrologist. You can just search on the net Dr. Jason Fung intermittent fasting, and you'll get a lot of his blogs and videos. And some of the videos are very long, but do watch them. You'll really enjoy them, and you'll get a in-depth technical insights into intermittent fasting. Some of his books, which are available on the net, excellent books. The Diabetes Code, the Obesity Code, the Complete Guide to Fasting, Life in the Fasting Lane. These are some books which have been written by Dr. Jason Fung. They're also really excellent. And if you can buy them, do buy them. Okay, now let's come back to intermittent fasting and what does it do. Basically, it's a series of fasting feasting cycles. Means a fast period is a period in which you do not take any calories, 0 calories, and followed by an eating window of time, a period of time in which you eat calorific food. So when it comes to diets, there are two things: controlling when you eat and controlling what you eat. Intermittent fasting doesn't talk anything about what you eat, it only talks about when you eat. So intermittent fasting is focusing on the periodicity or the timings of when you eat. So let me begin with the simplest and the most popular and the easiest fasting pattern. That is the 16-8 time pattern of fasting. That means fasting for 16 hours and eating for 8 hours. Some of friends, as soon as I tell them 16-8, they said, that's easy, I'm already doing it. 16 hours of eating and 8 hours of sleeping. No, that's not the right pattern. The pattern is 16 hours of not eating, that is fasting, and only 8 hours of eating. Now, when is this 8-hour window of time going to take place? That depends on you and your lifestyle choices. For example, you could eat between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. is an 8-hour window for eating. That means you're going to skip dinner or supper, whatever you call it. Or you could eat from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is another popular option among many of my friends, which means you will skip breakfast, you'll eat lunch around 1 o'clock, you finish all your eating before 9 p.m. and from 9 p.m. to 1 p.m. on the next day, you will be fasting. You will not be eating anything. Suppose somebody is working on a night shift, they could eat from 10 p.m. to 6. So that's an 8-hour window. So whatever 8-hour window you choose, keep it fixed. You choose 8-hour window and keep it fixed, and that becomes your 16-8 intermittent fasting pattern. Many of my friends have done this, and you can get easily about 1 to 3 kg of weight loss per month with a simple 16-8 fasting pattern. Now, what are the other patterns? You can modify it to an 18-6 pattern, that is fasting for 18 hours, eating 6 hours. You could make it even smaller. We can do a 24, that is 20 hours of fasting and 4 hours of eating. Or you can make your own pattern. And the extreme is 1 meal a day, the popular OMAD diet. That is, these people eat only 1 meal a day and pack all the calories for that day into that single meal. It is a very popular diet which is gaining a lot of popularity, and even some of the elite athletes and sports people are using this diet of 1 meal a day. The basic rule is that the fasting window needs to be at least 15 hours. So 16-8 is the kind of minimum. After that, you can modify whatever you want. Now, when I talk about fasting here, I mean water fasting. That means only water allowed, 0 calories. Okay. There is an extreme kind of fast of the in this line. Some people do dry fast. They do not even drink water. Now, I was reading somewhere that a human body can survive 10 days without water, but I personally am very scared about doing a dry fast because the lack of water could cause some damage. I have never tried it and I do not recommend it because I never tried it. But people do dry fast and get a very huge weight loss. However, I do not recommend dry fasts because I have never done it and I'm doubtful about the safety of the dry fast. Question that arises is, what can I eat during this fasting window? The rule is 0 calories during fasting window. That means no fruit juices or no coconut water, no sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no bubble gums, no Orbit, no artificial sweet, no xylitol, no sugar-free chewing gum, no snacks, no fruits, simply no calories. So the rule is simply 0 calorie in this. So what can you have in the fasting period? Water, lots of it. Maybe you want to try black coffee, hot. My daughter likes an iced espresso. She makes espresso and adds some ice cubes and has that she likes it. Black tea, green tea, tulsi tea, any kind of herbal teas, jaljeera. It's a standard masala mixture, kind of bitter with a lot of dried mango powder in it. You might enjoy it. Plain soda water. I like it as a alternative to plain water. Sometimes add a bit of lemon juice to it. Then there are different water infusions. My daughter is very fond of water infusions with lemon juice, cucumbers, orange peels, or whatever you like. You add a small piece of this fruit to a bottle of water, and the slight flavor is infused into the water. The main rule is, remember, no calories and no artificial sweeteners also. The next question immediately people ask is, do I have to be so strict? Well, your fast, your rules. People do fruit juice fast. Well, it works for them. Vegetable juice fast, bone broth fast, coconut oil fast. This has become a new trend with the Veeramachanani diet in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. They drink coconut oil, but I like water fast. So whatever works for you, if you want to modify it and add some other nutrients, but here I'm talking about pure water fasting with 0 calories. Then what can I eat in the eating window? Intermittent fasting doesn't tell you anything about what you can eat in the eating window. You're virtually free to eat anything you want. But that does not give a license to eat junk food or low quality food. So don't get into the habit of eating bad food, because that will offset most of the benefits of intermittent fasting if you eat junk food. So no trans fats and all those kind of things. What do I recommend? I recommend what is called a low carb healthy fat diet. You can check it out on the net. Low carb healthy fat LCHF diet. I like it. And over the last few years, we have modified our entire home food habits to in that pattern, and it's really feels good. Now, how long does it take for you to adjust to this fasting patterns, intermittent fasting patterns? It can take anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks. It's basically habit formation and hunger pattern changes. As you continue this fasting pattern more than a few days, your hormonal patterns change and your body adapts very quickly. Body is a marvelous engine. It adapts very quickly, and you will slowly adjust to the fast. Next, let's talk about longer fast, that is longer than 24 hours. What kinds? There are different patterns. My favorite is the alternate fasting 36-12 pattern. 36 hours of fasting and 12 hours of eating. My favorite pattern. I do it very often. Some people do a 24-24 pattern. They eat in 24 hours and fast for 24 hours. I do 36 hours because I end at the end of the dinner. I no food during the night, the next day, and the night after. So when I again have breakfast, that's starting my new eating cycle. So I find the 36-12 very easy to maintain, and it really. Now, how should you progress? I would say just like learning any new exercise. Suppose you have gone to the gym first time and you're trying push-ups. Obviously, you cannot do 20 push-ups. You will start with 1 or 2 and then slowly progress to 5 and 10 and 20, like that. Similarly, do a progression of long fast. Start with a 16-8, maybe you'll do a 24-hour fast and then do a multi-day fast. I'd like to share some of the practical issues which you face when you go for this long fast. Anything more than 24 hours and beyond 2 days, you'll get into different issues. First of all, when you go for a long fast, the second day is very tough. When you feel really low in energy, because that's the time your body is shifting from carbohydrate burning to fat burning. So the second day is tough, but you go beyond the second day, things become smoother, and the third, fourth, fifth day are absolutely cool. Second day is the tough day in a long fast. Now, what are the issues which I have faced? Number one is loss of salts. Because you are drinking a lot of water, and so along with the water, a lot of salts get out of your body. This can lead to a bit of drop in blood pressure, and you can feel a bit of head reeling, and dizziness is what people complain on the second day. The solution is very simple. Add some salt to your water and drink it. I also like to take a spoonful of oral rehydration salts, ORS. These are the salts which are prescribed by doctors when you go through diarrhea. Okay, so oral rehydration salts, a spoon of it, add to your water, add a bit of salt, and you can avoid this problem. The second problem is the diarrhea. On the third day onwards, you feel some kind of acidic discharge and a lot of things happening in your stomach. What is happening is, even though you are fasting, your body machinery is still running. The liver and the bile ducts and all are working. They produce a lot of bile and they throw it into the intestines. That can cause a kind of a diarrhea on the third day onwards. What is the solution? Take any off-the-shelf antacid. Take a spoonful of it. The other thing is add some bulk to your intestines by taking 2-3 spoonfuls of psyllium husk, sold under the name of Isabgal in India. I'm showing you some of the commercial brands available in India. I think you can check it out. These are available. You take about 2 teaspoonfuls of water, and this keeps your belly clean, and you avoid the diarrhea problem. Number 3 is the sleep adjustment. Most of us are not used to sleeping on an empty stomach. So it takes a bit of adjusting in the first few times you do a fast. My advice is drink lots of water before you sleep. That should help you a bit. Now, issue number 4, you might think is a good thing or a bad thing. You have a lot of free time. No eating gives you 4 to 5 hours of extra time in the day. On a day I'm doing a long fast, I feel as if my 24 hours are extending to something like a 48 hours. I have so much time in my hand. I can do so many things. I can read so much more. I can work so much more. But you have to plan for it. Because if you are just idle in those 4 or 5 extra hours, you are again tempted to eat and you might break your fast. Don't do that. How to keep your mind and body engaged? In the beginning, when I was trying long fasts, I used to just watch a lot of movies, Netflix, Amazon Prime. You try it. Keep yourself engaged so that you don't get tempted to break the fast. Now, my own journey in intermittent fasting, the first time I did a 24-hour fast was in 2016. Believe me, I also used to think that if I do a fast for 24 hours, I'll probably die. I'm so fond of food and I eat so much. I thought definitely I'm going to die if I do a 24-hour fast. But I didn't die, I survived. After that, I slowly progressed to 48 hours. In October 2018, I did my first 10-day fast. It was a total of 256 hours of fasting. That was my first very long fast. After that, I've been doing 3 to 5 day fast frequently. And now, what is my present patterns in intermittent fasting? I skip lunch. I've been skipping lunch for the past 6 months. I eat a light breakfast and I eat dinner. It's a very unusual fasting pattern. It doesn't match the usual 15-hour fasting pattern, but somehow it seems to work for me. And in between, I add a few long fasts of 2 to 5 days, and this pattern is working for me. I'm planning to shift to a one meal a day pattern very soon, maybe in the next 1 month. Now, what do I feel after all this intermittent fasting over the last few years? First thing is there are no hunger pangs or hunger signals. I simply do not feel hungry. I eat when I feel like eating. I don't eat when I don't feel like eating. That's it. There is no signals from our body, no hunger signals from our body anymore. Fast weight loss whenever I need it. Whenever I want to go through a drop about 3 to 5 kg, I can do a few fast of 3 to 5 days and I drop it. That's good. There's no pressure to eat junk food while traveling. One of my big problems is when I'm traveling, you cannot get healthy food. You get all kinds of fried food and you may not get food prepared to the best levels of hygiene. So I simply fast. When I'm traveling 2 to 3 days, I can just go on a long fast and I don't eat till I come back home. So there's no pressure to eat any bad quality food, and I come back home having completed a fast and I feel good. And as I mentioned earlier, lots of time on my hands. Above all, as I was reading somebody's fasting blog, he said the biggest sense of achievement he gets from intermittent fasting and long fasting is the sense of mastery over his own body, the control of hunger, the mastery over hunger. That feels really good. So these are my small points of advice. Just try out intermittent fasting. Start with the 16-8. Start progressing. See how it feels. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and it will become a tool. It will become one of the tools which you can use to keep yourself healthy in the long run. Enjoy your food, enjoy fasting, and send your feedback to fasting@ravipireddy.com. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.